Right. I think we are live. Let me just mute Timo. I think we're live. If anyone can see us live, because this is the first time Timo and I have done this, please just put a comment in. So I am new at doing the lives with a guest on. So if I'm a little bit slow at switching between the screens and unmuting Timo to stop the effort, please forgive me. I'm a non-technical woman. So before we go any further, I am so happy to be here again with Timo. We promised you a couple of weeks ago before Timo's holiday that we would have our new course ready to go, and on dog nutrition, an introduction to dog nutrition. Thank you, Arlene, for saying we can see us. That makes me feel better that I've got something right. And so Timo and I are just going to tell you a bit about the course and how it might help you. So how are you, Timo?
Fine. It was good. Good holidays, and I had a lot of fun, lots of cycling and fresh air, but back to business.
Yeah, you're a little bit, if you could speak up a bit, because you're a little bit quiet. Yeah, just
All
because
right.
our microphones resonate. So send my regards to my black cat. I will. So Timo, we've just launched today after a lot of work of me getting a few technical things wrong on the website, not my strong point. We've launched our introduction to home prepared food for dogs, haven't we? Why
Yes.
are you so excited about this? As a vet, why is this exciting for you?
All right. So as a vet, I sold a bunch of very bad food to the dog owners over the years. At the beginning, I didn't know better. In the middle of the journey, I thought, okay, this is the only thing they have. And then after that, I said, scratch it, that cannot go like that. So it's like kind of journey which I started with thinking that I know everything about nutrition because I finished a vet school, to the point that I thought, okay, I don't know enough, I have to learn more, to a point I came at the end, okay, I don't know enough at all, and the dogs are getting very ill left and right just by eating the wrong thing every day, day in, day out. So that's the reason why I'm excited, because finally I can do something about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you and I started working with each other quite a few years ago, and what we were both finding in common is we both work with all species, and what we were finding in common is just how many problems with dogs, and the same goes with cats and horses, but it's how many problems with our animals are caused by the wrong nutrition. And most animal owners, they really love their animals and they really want to do the best. But unfortunately, there's a lot of really misleading information out there at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. Physiology is mostly not the strongest point of vets, nutritionists, and many people who give advice. Mostly physiology. Okay, most of the time, physiology and biochemistry is not the strongest point of vets and advice givers. So we approach the point of nutrition mostly from physiological and pathological point of view, what's happening and what should happen and what shouldn't happen. And therefore, I'm very, very excited to start talking about it, because finally I can really release everything I have in my head, both good and bad, and to have an impact.
Yeah, and I think that's where sort of you and I really bounce off each other really well, because you have got so much knowledge, and what I help to do is sort of pull that out and make it usable, because I've obviously been working with animal health, holistic animal health also for years, and I'm seeing the same things coming up over and over again. And what I was so happy about this course is we've made it really, really usable for everyone. So I promise you that everyone who does this course is going to really see how easy it is to start feeding your dog really healthy food. And when you take back control of what you put in your dog's bowl, you're going to see physical and emotional changes very quickly. So Timo, talk us through some of the changes over the years that you've seen when people change their dog's diet for the better.
Oh, that's quite interesting, because the behavioral changes are the quickest to come. So sometimes you just say, okay, the poo is better, or my dog is a bit more lively and everything. But actually what happens is that the dogs get calmer, more energetic, but still calmer, because some of their needs are fulfilled far better than before. Don't forget, if you eat a lot of things which don't fulfill your needs, you want to eat more. You get more aggressive because your neurotransmitters are not in balance anymore. And you just crave and crave and crave and crave. And when dogs crave, they get really sometimes very nasty, or totally in the form of couch potato, and don't want to move anymore. They're totally depressed. And we don't see it as depression. We see it as like, yeah, my dog doesn't like to move. But once they start to get healthier with the proper nutrition, they start to get livelier, even in older years, and show their true nature.
Yeah, you're so right, because I deal with such a probably 50-50 split of behavioural issues or physical issues. But as you and I know, there's always a link between the two. And one of the things I found is that it absolutely would not make a dog more hyper, quite the opposite, because I agree with you that with the when an animal can't get the right nutrition, it's in a constantly stressed state, and also it gives off stress pheromones that other animals pick up, so it will affect the way that the other animals interact with them, won't it?
Same goes for humans. We have the same. So it even changes the approach between female and male dogs, how they interact with each other, just because some nutrition is missing in their body. And it's very obvious to see.
Yeah, and one of the other things that we see so much of are allergies. So there's so many dogs now that have got so-called allergies, and a lot of people sort of go down the route of actually looking at testing the proteins and things. But quite often allergies can be sort of misdiagnosed, can't they? Because it's other aspects in the food that are causing the problems.
That is correct, but I wouldn't say it's misdiagnosed. They are allergies, they are reactions, but they are mostly not constant reactions. They are connected to other problems. And once the problems are gone, the reactions are getting lower and lower, and they disappear. So, for instance, a healthy gut lining is the most important thing for allergies. If bigger chunks of protein always reach the intestinal tract and then the bloodstream freely, of course, this alien protein creates more and more and more stress. But once the stomach works properly, the intestinal tract is solid, and the bacteria does its job, then there is nothing to fear much, because these big chunks of proteins are not reaching the bloodstream anymore, therefore not causing that much of a trouble.
Yeah, that's great. And I just want to say with people, because we are doing this sort of live today, do feel free to put any of your questions in the chats and we'll do the best to answer them. So I'm just going to show people. So this is the course that you can access. It's on the Catherine Edwards Academy, and I will put the link. Let me put so you can see the banner along the bottom has got the web address. I'll put it in the comments again in a minute, but even though I'm a woman, I can't type and talk at the same time very well. Oh, hello, Darren from Singapore. So what we're going to do is we're giving everyone today who's watching this broadcast a 10% off. So what you can do is we've got a 10% off code that you can see. It's Telegram Dog 10. And when you go through the checkout process, you put that coupon code in and it gives you 10% off the course. Now, I'm just going to go through with Timo and tell you a bit about what you can actually expect to see in the course. So we cover a lot of different things, considering that there's it's an introductory course, don't we, Timo? So we cover a lot about the different types of nutrients that dogs need. Do you want to just give a little introduction to that?
Yeah, sure. So, of course, it's an introductory course, but we try to cover everything so that there is no real hole in the whole story, to understand what you should do and what you should avoid, just to make sure you're on the right path. So we can always, with the future courses, or you can also connect to us directly, we can always tweak what we have to tweak. But this course is there, so when you follow it, you will be sure able to cook or prepare, if it's even raw, the right food for your friend, and you will have a good conscious feeling that you did the right thing, because nothing in the course that we covered is unscientific, or let's say just creation of ours. It's just everything is built on science and physiology of the animal, and observation of for years, and experimentation also, and you will get the whole package, so to speak. For more details, of course, we will have future courses where we go into every detail of protein, vitamins, whatever there is. We will cover everything. But right now we cover the basics. So the macros, which is protein, fat, carbohydrates, fiber, and minerals and vitamins. We cover feeding time, storage. We cover how to choose the best ingredients. We have an ingredients list that you can really check: first choice, second choice, third choice. So you know exactly what to choose. You will know what to avoid. And we have some recipes just to lead you into the right recipe making. So we try to teach you how to make your own recipes instead of just giving you recipes and follow them. So in the end, you will have your own recipe making powers, and to choose the right ingredients from wherever you are living. For instance, we have Darren from Singapore, and I'm sure that what he can get, or what he should get naturally and locally, is a bit different than what you get in the not so sunny UK, so to speak. So that's why we have a live document, so to speak, that we can update according to all the input from around the world, and we will make sure that the dogs get the healthiest ingredients with the best quality that you can afford.
Yeah, fantastic. And what I can say is that, you know, it's really easy to use. So what we've done is we've put the whole video up, and there's a PDF that you can download, because some people like to read, some people like to listen, some people like a combination of the two. And then we've got downloadable PDFs, so you can print them off of the recipes of do's and don'ts, and first choice, second choice, third choice, and don't. And then we've also got the recipes that you can print off. And then you can watch the whole video, which is about an hour and 50 minutes long, in one go if you want to. But we've also broken it up into lessons to make it really easy for people. And I've sent it to quite a few people so far, a mixture of first-time dog owners, really experienced dog owners, and health professionals, and another vet. And I am really pleased to say the feedback has been fantastic. So we've got a couple of questions popping up, Timo. I'm going to start on this one from J9. So are there probiotics to give them? Now, probiotics is quite a complicated issue, and there's a lot of misunderstanding around it, something that I'm quite passionate about and have been studying for years. And, you know, a lot of people talk about probiotics and prebiotics. Personally, I've been using what we call soil-based effective microorganisms, and it's a bit of a mouthful, but in a nutshell, it's using, rather than a pharmaceutically made product that is getting a few narrow strains of microbes which happen to be approved in the veterinary industry. This is great fun that I can mute Timo, by the way, everyone. I can say whatever I like now and he can't answer. This, I could have fun with this. Timo would be able to mute me next time. But yeah, so the probiotics, soil-based microorganisms, and what you'll find is as you switch on to this healthy recipes, Timo covers in the course quite a lot about how the healthy fiber to encourage a healthy microbiome. So you're getting cumulative effects the longer your dogs are on the healthy food, and the better the quality of the ingredients you can have, the better. But sometimes it is important to supplement with some extras, and I can always give people recommendations for that. So just message me for that. Have you got anything you want to add to that for J9's question, Timo?
Yeah, if you let me. Yes. All right. So the most important thing to know is probiotics are really, as you said, narrow strain of bacteria, which means what probiotics do is just try to fulfill every role of every job in any town with just 5 different jobs. So if you go to pharmacy, there's a banker in it. If you go to the bakery, there's a banker in it. And if you go to the school, the teacher is, let's say, a baker, whatever. So it's just, it doesn't fulfill the role it should do because it's just so narrow. So dogs have anywhere between 8,000 and 30,000 different strains of bacteria, virus, and fungi in them. So if you think that you can just fill that role with 5 to 10 different strains, then you are highly mistaken. But that said, sometimes really, if you cannot have anything else and the dog was treated with antibiotics left and right, and it's really bad shape and you need the bacteria no matter what, then you can do it for the first week, but then you have to move on to something far more diverse and far more closer to earth. Because all these bacteria that the dog and humans should have in their gut comes from the soil, from the fresh produce on the floor. For one dog sniffing the other dog's butt and licking it left and right and touching with his nose everywhere. This is it. So this is what they need, not the pharmaceutical 5-strain pill, so to speak.
Brilliant. So really good question. Yeah, so really good question. And we will be covering a lot more of this because gut health, as we all know, is crucial. Now, Timo, we've got another question that I've put up on the screen for Tina, saying that her dog throws up yellow bile in the morning. Now, obviously in this, we can't diagnose things over the screen, but I know that you'll have a few hints on this, Timo, won't you?
Yeah, all right. So why is bile produced? So bile is the product of pancreas to just help with the digestion of whatever is left. So if the stomach's job is not done properly, which we have full display on the course, then the pancreas has to step up and fulfill this job. So normally bile and gall are extremely produced if the food has too high of fat and or fits to this description. The protein source that comes into the stomach cannot be broken down because the fat and carbohydrates might be too high in according to the protein that's coming in. And what I would suggest is, even if you don't watch the course, just reduce the amount of fat and carbs in the food. Feed protein-based as long as the problem starts to show it's going down by itself, not with any pills or anything. Just focus on protein, lower the fat to 8% to 10% per day. 8% would be amazing. It will show its effect more. And just scrap the carbohydrates, any type of starch, just fiber, some greens, and try that. And if there is no difference, then the pancreas might have a different problem. But if it comes and goes, as you said, I'm almost sure that has something to do with the food that's coming in. And one more thing, maybe you can try to feed only once in the evening, and you can go there slowly. And try to let your dog fast for 1 day a month. And you can start tomorrow and see if it helps. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you, T-Man. Now, these are really good questions, everyone, because this is an animal owner. I mean, I've got 3 dogs, all with very different needs. 1's 16, 2 are rescues that have had very bad starts in life. And what we do is we cover a lot of this in the course. So what we do is we do a lot of explaining in the videos. And some people like to go through all the details. Some people like to skip through that. But there's a lot of information in there for everyone, because when you understand why you're making certain choices, then the actual recipe formulation and everything gets a lot easier. And in terms of what we were saying about, getting a lot of greens and things, we cover a lot of detail about vegetables and the pros and cons and why we feed you need them and the right form to put them in. So that's a really good point as well, J9. Now, one comment I've got here from Jenny, a course for cats. We have got a course for cats. Timo and I are just about to record that next week. It's really, really good because I have got 5 cats at the moment. I normally have at least 6. Anyone who has cats know they're a little bit of a different ball game to dogs because they're a lot fussier and a lot more difficult to transition sometimes. I can vouch for that. I've tried just about everything. So we've got a good course coming for cats, haven't we, Timo? What can you tell our listeners about that, and Jenny in particular?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be good, but we will cover most of the needs for people to understand why cats are fussy, what they really need, and what they prefer and why they prefer. And we will cover also a lot of misunderstanding, especially about essential fatty acids like omega-6 or 3, because people really think omega-3 is the non plus ultra. Shout out to everyone in Spain. And that's not the case, especially for cats. So there is a lot of misunderstanding feeding cats, and we would really cover all that, and it will be fun for sure.
Yeah, from an animals, I'm sort of dual role in this. I've got a lot of animals myself, and all my animals come to me normally later in life. I have got one cat that came to me at 6 months old, who a lot of you have seen on the start of my videos, Idris, who is quite frankly the love of my life, and we all run around him like you've never seen. Because basically, when you see your animals thriving so much, it's so rewarding, because all of us are so bombarded with information and we want to get the right things for our pets. And the trouble is, when we outsource that decision making to another company and we're buying the food in, whether it's a dog, whether it's a cat, whether it's a guinea pig, whether it's a horse, that you don't really know a lot of the time the quality of the ingredients. And also, you don't often know how they've been prepared. So I'm going to be doing talks on the human nutrition side of things as well as the animals, because at this time, over the last year, never has there been so much awareness about how we really need to take control of our own health. And we are what we eat. The truing that saying is really true. And when we really start putting good nutrition into our animals' bodies, a lot of what you learn on this course will also make you think about what you're eating for yourself, won't it, Timo?
Yeah, and it is very important to understand there are a lot of common ground. There is a lot of common ground between humans and animals, especially how we process food or what food does to us. Of course, we have different needs, but there are certain physiological effects. Once you understand them, you have a far easier time to search, find, and use different sources of ingredients and food for yourself and for your animals. And it's a very good thing that there's also this second question about fish that I want to cover, because that's really, really interesting. Both our gut bacteria, animals still, and our mineral and vitamin needs have a direct effect on what we crave. And sometimes we crave the wrong thing because it just has one ingredient that we are missing. But sometimes we crave the thing that our bacteria craves and we don't. Actually, we don't have a choice on what we want to eat sometimes. And that goes for the fish and the chicken. Normally, chicken is far more suitable for a dog to eat regularly than fish, because fish has some disadvantages for eating every day. But fish comes with so many different minerals, essential fatty acids, and some vitamins that dogs won't get from eating chicken, especially if it's processed or if it's cheap, if it's just grown in somewhere where everything was synthetic. That's why a natural fish will always be more attractive than a crappy chicken, because it just has more nutrients. It's not that the chicken is actually worse than the fish, but that fish is generally better than that chicken. Does it make sense? I don't know. So
yeah, I think it's really interesting. The more you get into this, obviously animals have individual preferences, and any of us who've got two-legged human children as opposed to our four-legged children, we know that each child can be different, and what you're exposing them to younger, how healthy their microbiome is. Now, a really interesting thing that I've been studying for ages is something called Zoopharmacognosy, animals self-medicating, and humans do it too, but our brain sometimes steps in the way and helps us listening properly. But one of the things that you find is that when your microbiome is out of balance and the microbiome starts in your mouth, that will affect the choices that you're making. I say it's like little angry gremlins sitting on your shoulder and telling you to eat the wrong things. So again, these things actually really, really help when you start getting the whole body back in balance through good balanced nutrition. And we cover in the course how to make sure your dog gets all the vitamins and minerals they need, and how to prepare the food so you're not destroying the enzymes, so that it's still a living food when you do it. Then it's really, really important. And you'll find that everything, the more weeks you do this for, the better. And one other thing I wanted to add before we get on to Rona's question is that in this course, we do also cover how you can mix and match with other types of food, because some people, are ready to jump in and really go for it, and other people want to take a slower start to it. So, every little bit of home prepared meal, even if it's once a week, will make a difference. So start off where you're ready. And then once you start seeing the feedback, you will really get more and more into it, find easy ways to prepare in advance so it's quick and easy for you and really is no hassle. And if I can do it for my 5 cats, my 3 dogs, my 3 guinea pigs, my 3 horses, and the children and the husband, very much in that order, then I promise anyone can. So Timo, we've got an important question here from Rona. My dog suffers from seizures. Would this diet help? And obviously that's a complicated one, but just a few words for that, please.
Yeah, some of the seizures are caused by some of the ingredients in the food. And the way we created the ingredients and the recipes is we are very low on starch, almost zero starch, mostly zero starch, if you choose the right ingredients. And no processed sugars, no quick sugars mostly. And these are mostly also taking place or taking role in seizures. So our food is balanced, high in protein, and the right balance of fat. So normally from the professional dog foods we produced before, I know that this kind of constellation of ingredients helping with the seizures, but not all of them, of course. We have to know it can be a tumor, it can be anything. I'm not saying that your dog has tumor, but what I'm saying is there are different reasons of seizures. Sometimes an accident, sometimes some a neurological imbalance. But normally, this kind of food helps with calming down the brain, calming down the signaling that is causing seizures. But you can try, of course. You have to see for yourself.
Yeah, wonderful. And one other thing with seizures, I'll just mention, but we'll be covering much more of this in the wellness course that Timo and I will be putting up in a month or so's time, is be very careful if you're using chemical, spot-on, flea and tick and worming products, because they can be a big cause of seizures for some animals. So be very cautious about what chemicals you might be using for internal or external parasite control, and of course being very cautious about any chemicals that you're using in the home or environment, because we can't avoid all the chemicals, but we can take control for what we put in their immediate environment and what we put on them. So we were nearly up at the half an hour. We sort of said we'd do a brief one for this, just so that, we could just really introduce it. Timo and I are going to be doing a regular series of videos on general aspects of animal health. So we're really happy for you to email us. All the contact details are always on my Linktree link, which is underneath every video on YouTube. I'll put that under this video once it's uploaded and gone live. But we just wanted to do a little introductory thing for that, just to let you know. So just a backup for that, Jenna, one of my dogs started having seizures after giving her heartworm and flea. It's so common, and it's heartbreaking, because again, we do these things thinking on the best advice, thinking we're doing the best for our dog. So this is all the type of thing that we'll be covering over the next year in subsequent courses. So well, not just courses, but also free videos, because we really are so passionate about helping people improve the lives of their pets, because as animal parents, we make all the decisions for them. So the better informed we are, the happier and longer a life they'll live. And that is a win-win, because it makes us happy. So Timo, before we go, is there anything else that you want to tell everyone about or add?
Yeah, here I'm seeing from J9 again about the heartworm medication. That's very well known for causing seizures also. And there are other solutions, and we might talk about it in the future. But heartworm medication is not one of them. So we will talk about it later, but please do not. Yeah, so it's not advisable. Too many side effects.
Yeah, lovely. So if there's no further questions, I'd like to really thank everyone for watching this. There's a discount code that I've put on the screen at the bottom. Please do, have a look at the course. We hope you like it. Please do contact me, and I will pass it on to Timo as well for other things you'd like us to talk about, because we're going to be doing regular weekly videos, and we have a long list of information that we want to share with you, and we're very open to suggestions. So thank you so much for everyone joining us, and we will see you again soon. Night, Timo, as well. Thanks for everyone who's watching.
Yeah, and see you soon.
Bye.